Hi, I'm Ned and I make games. This video is from my live stream over on twitch.tv/NedMakesGames, where I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. US Eastern Time. I'd love to see you there. Alright, hey everybody. I hope you've all had a great weekend. Yeah, mine was pretty good. Relaxing. I tried to take it off from game development, so it's always nice. But yeah, I think I'm already recharged and ready to go. So yes, I posted on my channel. I'm pretty much done with the grass shader. So I'm starting to work on the first video in the series, which is about the grass lighting shader. And I thought, well, I think it'll work well on all different kinds of foliage. So I wanted to try it on a tree during the stream tonight. So I found this pretty good tree model. Let me get a link in chat. It's just a free to use free model, which is and yeah, it looks pretty nice, I think. So we're going to use this as a base. I think I'm going to edit the textures because these textures are a little bit more realistic than I think. Well, I mean, it might look okay, but the textures that they provide with it doesn't really mesh that well with my shader because it's difficult to make like a subsurface translucency map and things like that. So I kind of tried, but really the only data it has is the color and the alpha, and you can kind of get a height map from the color, but it doesn't really give much detail. And I'd like to be able to pull out like the central spines of the leaves, and I don't think that's going to really be possible. I could kind of try to guess by just drawing lines myself or tracing over it in like GIMP or something, but I don't know. I think I'd rather try to make my own leaf texture. We'll try it out anyway. I've been trying to practice with Substance Designer anyway, so this is another good excuse. So I think that's what we're going to do today. We'll try to make a leaf substance, and then I'll bring in my grass shader and then kind of retool it just slightly so it works for a tree. It's not going to be that difficult, I don't think. That part anyway. But yeah, this one is just using URP's standard lit shader, and it already doesn't look horrible, but when you're on the back, or see it from the back side, the tree is a lot darker than it really should be. Not to mention there's some... Yeah, it's not set up for two-sided rendering. Can I turn that on? Oh yeah. Okay, well that'll help a lot, but... Okay, so now it looks really strange, actually. Because the back faces of the leaves have this weird lighting to them, which doesn't look natural at all. I thought that I had left it selected, but no, that's just how it is. So yeah, we definitely want to fix that. But anyway, let's make well, should I get the shader set up first, or should I get the texture set up first? Let's do... I'm kind of feeling the texture right now, but maybe if we need a break, we can switch over. So I'm going to make a new graph. I'll just call it stylized leaves. Okay, so what we want to do first... I'm trying to think. Do I want to have a graph that just gets one leaf? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Okay, so a leaf shape. I think we'll start with this ridged bell, which is the same thing we did for the grass. And then we'll stretch it out on one side and then give it a rounded shape on the other side. Yeah, that shouldn't be, actually, it's going to be a lot like how we did the grass blade. So maybe just to speed things up, I'll copy that over and we can modify it. Okay, so open recent. Okay, so basically what we did is we transform this bell shape to the bottom, and then we stretch it out. Here, yeah, we're making the spine, which actually is going to be about the same. The only difference is we won't do this part where we add a bend, and we're going to want the edge to be a bit more rounded. So maybe what we should do, well, let's get started with this. I'll just copy. Yeah, we won't need all of it, but okay. Align it to the grid. All right, so why is it not showing anything? Oh, because I have this size set to external properties, so I think I'll reset that. All right, so what we want to do, I think, how can I add in, it'd be cool if I could just stretch like one part of the shape outward. I think, isn't there like a masked blur? Something, yeah, we can try. I think if I put like in a mask here, it will only blur the top part of the leaf, which might be what we want to do. First, let's... I think I'm going to need to make this smaller because we need to have the entire leaf visible because, yeah, we'll want to have this bottom part. But we still need to move it down because I'm going to stretch this part forward. Okay, so let's just make it... actually, I guess I can leave the X size the same. Let's see how that does. Okay, I was gonna see what the histogram scan looked like, but I guess there's just too little there, so it doesn't even pick it up. That's fine. Okay, so we'll put that in there. And we can increase. Okay, well right now the mask is all black, so it's not gonna blur anything. Okay. Does it not work how I thought? I want it to blur upward. But I thought if I made it white, then it would blur the entire image, but it doesn't seem like that. Oh, the intensity's at 0. No wonder. Okay, so that works. Okay, but it's not a directional blur, apparently. Okay, there. I just need to turn that up. Right, so that's how I want it to look. All right, and if we put that in there, okay, so that's not too bad. Let's look at our original leaves. I guess I don't have to copy it exactly. These leaves have a lot more of a point. Okay. All right, so that's actually pretty easy to get to that point. Oh, excuse the pun. All right, so let's mess with this a little more to see if we can get a better shape. Okay, so there comes a point that if you increase the intensity too much, because of the histogram scan, it actually shrinks. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting effect. Hi, Hearst, correct? Oh yeah, seeing substance designer process, you always get overwhelmed. Yeah, there's a lot of nodes, so I can definitely understand that. I'm still a relative beginner in it, so yeah, I'm still learning it all too. Oh yeah, but I think we're on the right track here. I guess if I increase the histogram scan, we could get different shapes as well. I think I want it to be pretty crisp edge. Okay. Let's look back here. Okay, so these are not quite so squat at the bell side. How, I guess to do that, what I would do. Oh, okay, so one thing I'm doing here, actually, I just noticed is the histogram scan is entirely white, so I actually need to move this down so it doesn't blur the bottom half of the ridged bell. I forgot about that. I don't want it to. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit more smooth. Okay. That actually doesn't look quite as good. I think. Hey NTT, how are you doing tonight? Something like that. And then maybe if I go back to this not being so wide, it'll look. Actually, we're getting pretty close. There's a strange dip right there. Maybe it's just my imagination. You all right? How's the progress? Going pretty well. I finished all the stuff about the grass showcases, and today I'm gonna try to make apply our grass shader to this tree to see how that will look. And but I don't really like the textures. Well, the textures they provide with it is fine, but I want to try to make my own. I'm trying to procedurally generate leaves. That's correct. Is that how it looks so far? Well, these aren't my textures. Yeah, these are ones that came with the asset that I'm using, and I want to try to make my own so I can control how it looks with the shader a little better. Right now, this is also just using Unity's lit shader, which is why it has these strange highlights and stuff, because it's not really made for foliage. But I'll fix all that pretty soon. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it even has the little dip right there where I can add a stem. Okay. So one thing that's good to do is you want to check the normal map periodically just to make sure it's not too pixelated and it's even. Yeah, so up here at the top it's a little thicker than the other side. So what I should probably do is just bring the contrast all the way up. Yeah, and then blur it. Okay, so now it's even all around. I could tweak the shape a little more, but we can always do that later. Okay, I'm kind of okay with it being a little softer, so I don't know if I need this other histogram scan. But I guess it's good for the alpha channel. Okay, and then this one's just removing any imperfections, like asymmetric imperfections, but I can't really tell, but I guess we can leave it in. It doesn't really do any harm. Okay, by this point, yeah, the second histogram scan, I don't really want that because it's making it too jagged. Okay. And then I do another blur. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think in the grass, I did the second histogram scan because you can kind of use it if you blur again. You can kind of use it to get like a more pointed edge, which is what's going on right there. But well, I don't know. We'll leave it in. Let's see. So yeah, I should have checked the normals again at this point. Yeah, so that looks fine. Okay, so here I'm adding, yeah, the spine to the leaf. Okay. But what I need to do, okay, I need to transform this downward a little bit because yeah, when I blend it up here, the spine goes all the way to the tip of the leaf when actually it should only probably reach about here. So something like that. It looks a little strange though. Probably because it doesn't taper off correctly. Oops. Something like that. Okay, that's a little better. I think it will look better when I get the actual stem going. Also, okay, so we gotta think of this as a height map and the, I guess, okay, never mind. I was gonna say that the rib or the stem actually like is higher than the leaf, but not on the top side. It's gonna kind of curve inward towards there. All right. Which I guess I gotta think about that as well, but let's yeah, reset that for now. Something like that. All right, now I also want to add more, like a couple more stems or veins kind of going diagonally. And then I also want, like I said, I want kind of a gradient around there to show the curvature of the leaf a little better. Maybe I can use, I always try to use that. I don't know if it'll look that good actually. I was going to say that distance node. It never turns out working as well as I would hope. Okay, I don't need this anymore. So I think this gives like the distance to the nearest white pixel. So I need to invert this. Okay, I guess let's set this full right now. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look like how I want it. I think what I need to do is basically take or shrink down this shape and then just place it, like blur it out so it kind of makes a gradient and then blend it on top of the leaf. Okay. Wait, and I guess I'll subtract that, feed into there. Okay, so now I can kind of see what's going on. Let's blur this. Maybe I should shrink it first and then blur. I guess I could just use, yeah, actually I could just use this shape, couldn't I? Actually, yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, so what do I want to do to make this better? Probably, well, yeah, I don't think the spine should be completely black. Yeah, neither should this actually, now that I think about it. Maybe that's the why it was looking kind of strange. Okay, this is pretty good, I think. Yeah, so we have a little gradient because, you know, the leaves kind of dip in towards the middle. Although, okay, so the edge, so like the highest part would actually be this center area. So yeah, the edges need to be darker too. I think that's why it's looking a little strange. So how I would do that maybe is just blur this again and then blend it. Okay, let's get a little messy right there. Can I? Don't they have like the dot? Or what do they call it? I'm looking for the little just connector node. Forget what it's called. Oh, it was hidden in the menu. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So now I can just bring this up. What's it called? So I can know for future reference. Oh, it is just a dot node. Okay. Anyway, okay, so now I need to multiply. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of fade on the edge. Okay, that's looking pretty good, I think. So it's already at full opacity. So if I wanted the edges to be darker, I'd have to cracked this in a little bit. Okay, so I guess I could just blur a little more. Kind of looks like an avocado, doesn't it? I think it'll look more like a leaf when I get the other veins in. So let's work on that now. What's all this? Okay, yeah, we don't need that for the leaf. Okay, and this is all dealing with. That actually looks pretty good, but I guess I'll leave it in case I need it for later. Okay, what's this? Okay. No. All right, so for the other veins, I guess I could just create. Trying to think of the best way to do this because I want to basically make some more lines like this and then angle them. But I'm sure there's got to be a better way to do it besides just using 4 different blend nodes and transforming each one. But I guess I could use a tile node, but usually it's difficult to place things exactly. Let's see. Also, yeah, there's no reason to invert there. I can just do a subtract node instead of multiply. Okay, actually, that does have a different effect, so let's go back to how it was. Yeah, this looks better. All right. I guess I'll take this node and rotate it. I guess we can just place 2 and then mirror them. That might be the best way to do it. Okay, so let's just rotate it 45 degrees and see how that looks. Oh, I guess negative 45 is what I wanted. Just to help me visualize it, I'll go ahead and make this node. Okay, so I've got to move it quite a bit over. And also shrink it. Oh, right, and I need to turn off tiling because, yeah, we don't want this to tile. Okay, so this black part I think will be an issue as well. But I can probably... Okay, I guess that means I should work with this part and then invert when it's done. So that way I won't have to worry about the those corners. Okay, anyway, so let's move this. Oh, okay, that's kind of... It's offsetting along the angle, which I guess is nice, but not really for this purpose. So we'll just make another transformation node. Okay, one thing I don't like is it's multiplying where the two veins intersect. There's a little darker bit. We can get rid of that by combining them together before we blend. Although then the veins would all be the same darkness. Okay, well, if that's an issue, there's other ways we can fix it. Yeah, let's just blend them together for now, and we'll see what to do after that. I think screen is technically more correct. And then I can invert. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we'll clean this graph up later. That doesn't look too bad. I think I would, well, I don't know. Let's see how it looks with all four veins. I also need to shrink this. Let's just do it by half. All right. And now it's off the edge again. That's not too bad at all. There we go. Right, maybe it could be a little smaller, but let's make the next one. So I'll take the same thing. And okay, so we've got to do -45. And last time okay, that's probably twice. I think that I'm gonna have to mess with the size, but and then again, I don't want any tiling. Oops, I don't want a function though. And then we'll have another transformation 2D to pan it over to the correct spot, and then I've got to do another blend node. And screen. Oops, not switch. And feed that in there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And now all I have to do is mirror this. Okay. I like that. I'm just trying to think. Do I want the center one to be darker than the other ones? I guess. Oh, yeah, we can do it. We'd have to like make a separate mask and like subtract out the middle rib. I mean, it's possible, but hey, Awkward Brian. Yeah, it's actually going relatively quickly. Okay, so I do want to tweak the positions of these a little bit. I think it'll look better if this one's a bit higher up and also slightly smaller. So let's 80%. Yeah, unfortunately, when I change the size, I'm gonna have to reposition it, but I don't think there's any way around it. And now this top one should also be a little smaller. Oops, I keep doing 800%, which is not quite what I have in mind. Oh, that's interesting. So now, actually, since I just mirror it... Okay, so now I really don't have to scale them, because since I mirror it, I can just kind of like squish them into each other, but whatever. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it's looking more like a leaf and less like an avocado now, which is good. Okay, I mean, we could have some more details. But I think we'll go with this for now and add more later if we need it. So let's clean up this graph before we move on. All right, there we go. And I guess I should check on the normals before you go just to see if they're getting jagged. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's maybe it's a little flat. I kind of wanted, well, I mean, it's not too bad. I kind of wanted this dip to be a little bit more visible, but I guess you can kind of see it. And when we make the color map, it will be more obvious, I think. I guess what I could do is have a little bit more of a crease. Let's try that real quick and see. So I'll take gradient and rotate it. And then we'll do a histogram scan to pick up just kind of the middle part. And then insert a blend node here. I could do multiply or subtract, but actually I need to invert this, don't I? Okay, so the problem with this also is we don't really want... Oh, well, maybe this will be okay. I was going to say we don't really want to affect the tips, but I think I just need to bring down the strength. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Actually, that added quite a lot, I think. Okay, so now let's make a really simple stem. I think I can actually just use this gradient. I don't know. And then blend this. I guess I need to cut off. Yeah, I need to mask it so that the stem. Okay. Yeah, I've got to be kind of careful here because the stem has to, I think, be the same height as the rib right here. Otherwise, it'll look weird. And then I also need to cut off the top so it doesn't come up past that part. Let's see. I want to see like how, if this is a good alpha mask or if I need to work on that. Because if this is a good alpha mask, then I can just use that as the mask to add the stem. So let's try that. Actually, I think it'll be easier to do a channel shuffle. And then we can feed this in as the red, green, and blue channel, and then this as the alpha channel. Okay, I think that works pretty well. I don't see... Yeah, what I'm looking for is like a steep drop to black where the edge falls off, but then the alpha channel doesn't take that into account. But I think it's looking fine. So can I just... let's not do it that way. It's too messy. Let's insert a dot here. That's still kind of messy, isn't it? There's no clean way, I don't think, to pull this out. I guess I can move that down there. Oh, I thought it disappeared. And then, I guess... Oh, I've got to invert the mask. Okay, but actually, yeah, I still need to cut off the top part. So I guess I could just blend this mask with a gradient. And again, we'll use a histogram scan to select just a single part of the gradient. Yeah, we can do really high contrast because it doesn't actually matter too much. And then blend. Although, wait, I have to flip this, don't I? Okay, and then multiply to add the masks together. Okay, there we go. And then I want to get the stem to be roughly the same darkness as the stem and the leaf part. So I think I can just... Okay, that seems really dark, but... Let's try... Okay, it's a little better when I bring the levels back into... Or recalibrate the levels. Maybe I should do that before blending it with the stem. I don't know, it probably doesn't really matter. It's hard to see because it won't let me zoom in anymore, but it almost seems like there's a crease. Like the mask is not perfect there. Okay, let's feed that into here and see if the crease shows up in the normal map. It kind of does, but maybe that's okay. Okay, no, that doesn't look good. I think that's a little better. All right. Okay, so what else? If we look, I mean, I don't really have to follow these exactly, but okay, so the stem before it connects to the branch is actually pretty short in this texture. But yeah, one problem, I don't know if it's really a problem, but with this technique, the leaves won't be able to be quite as varied because I'm going to just kind of copy them. We'll add a little bit of rotation, but I think that's going to be okay because Um, this is a more stylized look anyway. All right. I'm trying to think if I want to resize anything. Well, if I wanted to resize it, I guess I should have done that back here before I made the alpha mask. All right. I think I will go ahead and just make a graph for the leaf, just to simplify things a little bit. Otherwise, this graph is going to get really huge because we've got to do the part where we splice these leaves all together onto a single stem and then color it and everything. So I'll just make an output. This will be depth, and then we'll have another output for the mask. Which we'll grab from here. I miss the Unity shader graph functionality where I can just double click and create one of these dot connectors. Also, I don't know, I probably don't have to be quite so neat, but okay. Anyway, there we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out actually. All right, so let's make a new graph, stylize. All right, and then we can just drag this into there. Okay, so now we want to make an FX graph that will kind of copy this in a specific pattern. And since I'm going to use the same tree model, but we're just going to replace the textures, I should make sure we follow kind of a similar pattern. So yeah, the leaves or the stem goes in the up-down direction. Okay, so I just need to keep that in mind. Okay, so I've worked a whole lot with, well, we could use a tile sampler for this, but since I kind of want the like Y position to also determine the size of the leaf, because you can see it kind of gets smaller as you move up. You can't really do anything like that with a tile sampler, so you have to use an FXMap. Basically, anytime that you need like two properties of the shape to not be completely independent, like they kind of affect each other, you have to use an FXMap. I've learned. So I've done something similar in my grass substance. So I think I'll just go ahead and copy this. And we might use this normal trick as well. Thanks, NTT. Okay, I just got an email, but nothing important. All right, so in the FX map, I need to feed it an image, and I'm gonna convert this to a color image with an alpha channel so that it knows like where the boundary of each leaf is. One thing I just realized, the mask actually doesn't include the stem. Okay, well, it's not that difficult to add. Basically, I just need to take another histogram, scan slightly. I don't know if I can get any lower down. Okay, well, let's just see how that looks then. And blend this with the mask. Okay, actually, I need to blend it with this. Okay, so I've got to, again, take out the top with this mask and then add it back with the original. Maybe, let's see. I guess I can just do this. Oh yeah, and as an alpha mask, we want to have the contrast as high as possible. I guess not necessarily, but okay. So that's fine, and then I guess we can move that down there. Alright, we've made our graph nice and messy again. Okay, well, let's do that. The graph is under construction for now, so that's kind of gets the... That's really hard to read as well. And this... Okay, this could definitely use some reorganization, but I'd like to work a little bit more on the actual things. So, okay, so now we have the depth and the mask, which we'll just add them together using that channel split or channel shuffle. Okay, and so then this is the input into the FXMap. And yeah, so it's gonna place them like I did the grass blades, so obviously we're gonna need to change that. Okay, so we'll edit it. Alright, and I'm going to just have a constant number of leaves. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's do 8. So then there'll be... Okay, I guess I just have to make one side. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I was gonna say I could make one side and then flip it, but I guess we'll want to have a little bit of randomness on each side, so we'll do 8. Okay, so with an FX graph, you can use a function to determine each like property of every copy of the image. Okay, and this I'm trying to kind of have the darkness of the leaf correspond with its I guess it's the number or its index in the iteration loop, but I don't really want to do that here because all the leaves they're not going to be overlapping, so actually can just get rid of this function and just have a constant luminosity. Okay, and then down here, this is kind of a trick. When you have different properties that rely on each other, it's kind of difficult sometimes to get them, I guess, to communicate. So what you can do is you can just put everything in one graph and then store the value in this set variable node, and then in the function for the other specific thing, you just have a single node that just gets that variable, and you set that as the output. It's a little strange, but okay. So what I want to do here. So this top math is this is for the pattern offset. So basically, every odd iteration, I want it to be on the right side of the middle, and then on the even iterations, it's got to be oh, not even every 2 iterations, it needs to move upwards. I think I'm just gonna get rid of all this math because it's just confusing and not really helping at this point. But we'll leave these that set the variables. Okay, so this top part is the position, and like I said, we can get the iteration number with get integer, and then get the. I thought I was gonna have a number there. Is it not an integer? Okay, well, let me look real quick. Oh, it's a float for whatever reason. Okay, well, that's fine. Anyway, we'll get the float. Yeah, so this number is the the iteration count for the FXMap loop. Okay, so so we need to flip it if it's odd, which means basically we set the x value for the size. Okay, actually, because we're gonna rotate it. I wonder if the size is applied before the rotation. I guess we'll find out. Because right now our leaves are pointing upwards, but we actually want them to rotate to the side. Maybe just for less headaches, I should just rotate this before we feed it into the FXMap. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is it not like that? I just realized I could actually use the quadrants how they're meant to be used. Because yeah, you can. Because basically these output they divide the image into 4 and output information based on that. But I'm not super experienced on that, so I'll just go with this method because I know how it works. Okay, so do they have, is our function even count? Returns the count of even numbers contained in the input. I don't know what that means. Is there, okay, there is a modulo. That will be a little easier. And I guess I'll turn this into an integer. I don't know. Just because modulos are better to find on integers. Okay, so this will be even if the modulo over 2 is 0. Because modulo basically is a fancy name to take the remainder. Okay, so yeah, if it divides evenly into two, then it's even, and in that case, we do nothing. But if it's odd, then I need to flip this by setting the x size to -1. So, I guess I could just negate this then. Do they have... Oh, it's complaining because it doesn't like that it's an integer. And the y size for now, we'll just always have it set to 1. I might want to edit that later, but okay, so is that working? Oh no, because even ones are 0. So maybe I shouldn't try to be fancy with this and just use a branch. Because basically what I wanted to do, I thought I could just, because modulo, I mean, this returns 1 if it's odd, so I thought I could just negate that, which we see that works, but when this is even, modulo is 0, so it sets the pattern size to 0. Oh, I just realized, saw right now that my bitrate is not doing too well. Sorry about that. Hopefully it will fix itself. Okay, it seems to have stabilized. Okay, yes. Again, I apologize. I don't have the best internet, and unfortunately I don't really have any options to switch, but I don't want to get into that conversation. What was I? Okay, so I forget how do branches work. Okay. Oh yeah, here's if else. So the condition, and then if true or false. Okay, so what I want to do is if this is 0, equal. Okay, so if this is equal to 0, then I guess I can something like that. Then we'll do negative or +1, and then if it's not equal to 0, we'll do -1. Clean this a little bit. Oh yeah, but I guess I'm gonna be changing this, I'm sure. So let's see how that works. Oh, now it's completely black. So how come? Oh, because I didn't plug that in. Yeah, so now they're kind of mirrored. Which is fine. That means I need to offset them. Okay, so actually that means that no matter what, the size should also be halved. Let's move this entire thing backwards and then have a scalar multiplication with 1/2. Okay. And now I also need to offset them. So the even ones need to be offset +1/2, and the negative ones need to be offset -1/2. Okay, so I guess I could use this same type thing. Yeah, actually, I think this entire bit is the same, but I won't, I'll leave it separate in case I have to change it. Oh, I guess, wait, this is a little different because, oh, is it really going to make me just switch it out with normal multiplication? Okay, so now I can compose this into a vector flip 2 and, oh, I already had that one right there. Okay, so this is the X. Oop, that's too much. Maybe just a quarter then. Okay, that's fine. They're sticking to the edge, so I think I need to reverse this. Okay, there, that's better. And now I need to also offset them based on their Y position. So I guess 0, 0 is the center then. Well, that's okay. So now we need to take this and divide it by 2 to get like its index in this row. I guess. Actually, this part doesn't really need to be an integer, so I'll just use a float. Oh gosh, yeah, I just realized I've dropped a lot of frames. Sorry, I wonder how bad my internet has been during the stream. I really apologize. Maybe, I don't know. If it's really bad for you, guys, or for you all, please let me know and I can go reset my my router, but I'll have to restart the stream, so I don't know what would be better, but okay, so anyway, we have this. So what happens if I just feed that in? Okay, that's not what I expected. Oh, the problem is, it's also offsetting by 1/2 for the odd number. So I guess okay, I could use a floor. That would be simpler. Oops. Okay, and now if I just multiply this by some number, should start to see multiple leaves finally. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then, so actually, I want them to grow upwards so that the first 2 are at the bottom because they'll be the largest. So I guess I should just offset the entire thing. So add. All right. Kind of funny that I have to offset by a negative value, but okay, so they overlap, but I can fix that by adjusting the pattern size or even the input. Or maybe I want them to overlap. I don't know. One last thing I want to do. Oh yeah, I do want them to get slightly smaller as they move inwards. So what I need to do now. So, oh yeah, I just need, I guess we'll change this value slightly. we'll take this value. Yeah, and multiply it by some number. I'll just leave it at 1 for now. Okay, yeah, I was afraid that it wouldn't really. So when you add that, they don't stay centered correctly. Also, okay, so right, if this number is less than 1, then they're gonna get smaller as it goes down, right? So yeah, I guess I did this backwards actually. So yeah, you never know if it grows. Oh, this makes sense because the first ones will be. Oh wait. Yeah, because the ones that are placed afterwards are actually going to be placed on top. So I guess it depends when they overlap. There's no pivot point on there. Unfortunately, not in this FX graph. I think the pivot point always has to be the middle of the image. So I guess if I wanted to, I could transform this so that the tip of the stem is on the middle of the image, but that's kind of wasteful for pixel space. But okay. I'm trying to think. Do I want? Yeah, the bottom ones to overlap with the top ones. I'm trying to think how it would look on a tree. I mean, I guess it wouldn't really be regular, but my internet is just not cooperating. I see it's over here, red again. Here, let me go see if there's something I can do without restarting the stream. I guess I could offset by half the height of the leaf image multiplied by a scale. Yeah, that's probably what I will end up doing in TT. You know what? I'm gonna go just reset my router because, yeah, my internet's not doing well right now. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. So, oh, okay, I'm back now. Thanks for sticking around, NTT and everybody else. Okay. Showing no dropped frames, but not completely in the green. But anyway, well, I've done what I can, so. Okay. Where was I? Oh, right. Yeah, so first we have to, so when we scale it, we also need to offset the leaves based on the scale position. So basically I can just take this and multiply with this value, I think. Okay, yeah, there we go. Not too complicated. It seems like we're missing a leaf though. I guess the... Oh, okay, you know what? We should only multiply the X position with this. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to use the scalar multiplication anyway. Okay. But why is there only 6 showing up? I thought I had 8 as my iterations. Oh, I know why. It's because, yeah, for the first and second leaves, this is 0, so it's multiplying the scale with 0. So I guess I just need to add 1. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm still dropping frames. I don't know. I really apologize, but yeah, I don't think I can do anything else to fix it tonight, so we'll just make do with what I have, and yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube. I'm recording a local version that won't have stuttering, so anyway, I hope you all can at least kind of see what's going on. Yeah, thanks, NTT. All right. Okay, so it looks like I got the math correct at least. Although, I'm trying to think. Something is wrong though. I think I need to add 1 more because what's happening is I just kind of want to scale slightly, and right now it's like multiplying the this factor to the entire scale when I just want to like add a little bit onto it, if that makes sense. So I just need another addition node. Oh. Okay, and then now we're adding to it instead of applying like a total scale. Excuse me. All right, so okay, I do want to have like a little randomness in here, so let's also add a random factor to this scale. I guess we can just tack it on to the end here. I don't know. I guess it'd be better if we placed it here. All right. I don't know, maybe 10% either way. That's actually more subtle than I thought. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Now, yeah, I had zoomed in too much, so yeah, it's not taking up very much space on the entire texture. So yeah, let's bring this. I don't know which way looks better when it overlaps, but we'll go like that. I do want to leave a little room at the top because we'll put another leaf like at the end of the stem. So we can adjust this. It's not really set in stone. And then the last thing I want to do is add a little bit of rotation. I might have to adjust the offset for this too, but we'll do another random around 1. Oh wait, it's around 0 actually, but oops. Huh. How come? Yeah, just setting this had such an effect. Oh, I think it's just because, yeah, when I add this in, there's another call to the random number generator, which just spits out different values. We're not actually rotating them or anything, so that's fine. And these randoms are in like turns, so when I put 0.1, it's actually like 10% around the entire like circle. So like 36 degrees. So we actually need a pretty small value. But yeah, it does disconnect. But that might be okay because we're going to have like a stem that's going to run through the center. So yeah, well, I think this might be fine. If not, we can do some trigonometry to apply an offset. But I think for now we're done. Let's try to move it up to 0.2. I think that's all. I was gonna say the only other thing we could do is flip it on the y-axis randomly, but I think the leaves are symmetric anyway, so it doesn't actually do anything. What about, do we want to scale? I should probably scale the y-axis independently. So right now all I do is just flip. Oh wait. Oh yeah, right now I just set the y-axis to 0.5. So let's add a little bit to that. We won't have to change the offset, I don't think. So yeah, random radius again, and then we'll just add it to 0.5. Oh yeah, so actually put it right there. Where is this going? Okay. Yeah, it's kind of messy. Okay, actually, yeah, this goes there, and then we could probably move these around to clean it up a bit. Okay. So yeah, so that does what I wanted to do. I wanted to just introduce kind of thicker and thinner leaves. All right. I think that's done. Okay, so let's make, well, first we want to, I guess we need the stem, and then I need to put the leaf on the top. Okay, so the stem is pretty simple. We can just use the same technique we used here. Okay, well, that's all right. We can just remake it. It's not that difficult. So first we take this gradient, rotate it, and take a histogram scan. That's a little too thick. And then I need to cut off the top. But I kind of want it to taper in. Do it. Is there like a triangle gradient? Maybe I can use this one and flip it or mirror. That might work. Probably I should put this into another histogram scan. So I can control the shape a little better. And then blend them together. Okay, yeah, that's kind of the idea. And then I can blend this. Let's actually put the leaves as a background so I can... Okay, yeah, so this... They've... Yeah, so this is, even though it's grayscale, it's actually an alpha image, which I had to do in order to get the leaves not to intersect. But we can actually just extract the a single channel. No, I can't just... I mean, I guess I could just use the 2 grayscale, or the grayscale conversion node, but I'd actually... I don't know if it does other stuff besides just extract a channel. I guess we can just use this. Yeah, oh, we will need the alpha mask actually, so that's fine. Something like that. That's not too bad. I don't like how the leaf stems kind of overlap. What would I do for that? Okay, I don't think there's... Although, wait. I just realized, do I want the stem to be a different color? Because if that's true, I should I need a stem mask on the leaf for this part as well. Let's see. Well, if we're copying, I mean, not really. The leaf stems are green anyway. And I could just do a gradient to make it more yellow. Yeah, this should be fine. It's a lot easier if I can just work with one height map. Well, maybe this is fine. Let's look at the normal map and see what it looks like. I think that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, the border with the on the stem won't be quite as I mean, sharp because yeah, the leaves or the stem's not flat, so. But yeah, if I wanted to bring it up, I could always just increase the contrast here. Anyway, that's looking pretty good. We'll come back to the normal map. Because what I like to do is give each leaf kind of a little randomness to its normal map by doing another one of these FX maps, where it basically chooses a random normal color. We'll deal with that. I might not even really need to do it for this one, but okay. All right, so now I need the leaf on the top. So I think I'll do that actually before I add the stem. So I can take basically just this and transform it and then blend it on top. Be kind of nice if you could apply like a random scale in here, but I don't think there's any way I can do that. Well, I guess, yeah, I can change it into a function and then I could do a random values. But I don't know if we really need to do that. Okay, so take this. Oh yeah, and I need to make it maximum. Okay, so you need to move this up. I wish you could get rid of these headers somehow. Pretty good. Max works. There's a little bit right here that I could probably, like, it's probably not exactly correct because I'm not doing alpha blending, but I don't think you can really tell. I don't know. It's not super important. Okay, so I think we're done with this part. Okay. So now we want to do some color, and I usually just copy and paste everything from this cluster card, but it's kind of messy, so let's see if I can redo it a little cleaner. I do like this noise as a background, so I'll copy it over. Okay, so basically we use this as the base for the color texture. And yeah, it's just this noise, this moisture noise, and then you blur it and do this mosaic, and it gets like kind of cool, like almost painterly effects, and it looks nice for the background. One thing I want to find a different random value so there's not that dark blotch on the one side. Okay. Oh, one other thing I want to do, yeah, before we color it, we should deform this a little bit so that it has a little bit more irregularity. Because right now the branch is perfectly straight. You can fix that. I also did that here. Okay, I used the cells noise and then blurred it. Yeah, so we'll copy that. It's fine. Okay, and yeah, you can see it just adds a little variation to it. It's pretty subtle, but it makes it not look quite so regular. Also, I just realized the stem kind of blends into the top leaf a little bit too much. So let's bring down this and just watch it. I don't know. Doesn't, not quite the shape I want, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much because it's, like I said, I don't know if it's super visible. Yeah, also this should be fed into the normal map. Okay, so yeah, we use this as a base for the color. Let's actually move it up here. All right, so yeah, we'll mess with these colors a lot. Okay, that looks pretty good for a start. It's a little too cool though. Let's move this. Maybe this is the culprit. I think that looks more like how I want it. Okay, then there's a bunch of, you can use this normal as well as the height map to create a bunch of other maps which will help you color different areas. Let's see, there's the ambient occlusion. Where is it? I know there's ambient occlusion. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, well, I don't know why that didn't show up. And then with the normal, you can also create these curvature maps, which can give you some kind of interesting outlines. Oops. That one doesn't look too good. What's going on there? Maybe the smooth curvature does something different than I thought, but I thought I used it here. Yeah. Oh, right. I think I remember, yeah, for the curvature to work correctly, you have to make sure that you turn tiling on, just for that node at least. Forgot about that. Otherwise it has, yeah, this kind of weird effect. Okay, so yeah, you can use these for different effects. Like you can see this one kind of gives you edge detection. And this one gives you highlights a little bit more. And this one you can use kind of like ambient occlusion actually, but It's slightly different. So let's see. We might not use them all. It just depends. Let's start with some of the background. How about trying to think what would be a good base. Maybe this one? I guess I'll look and see how, because I'm pretty happy with how this grass turned out, but I was trying to see if I could remember how it worked. So the first node, yeah, is just coloring the noise, and the next one gets, okay, so it's this syllable. Okay, so the next one is, I guess, outlines, and then highlights. Okay. Okay, so from this, yeah, we can I guess this one is extracting, yeah, the outlines of the blades, and this other one gets a little bit different. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can understand what I did here, because I was following a tutorial, so. I think this one has the outside of the blades and this one's more on the inside. So let's see if we can, how that looks for our leaves. Okay, it's even more pronounced than our other one. Okay. Oh, and then yeah, you can invert this. They don't look that different, but I wonder. Well, let's I guess let's just see what they look like. Too confusing. So feed that in there, and then we'll need another color node. Let's just go with something, I don't know, purple. Whatever side to choose, and then this as the mask. Okay. Actually, yeah, on this particular art, they seem like those two properties are the same, basically. Yeah, because it seems like this one just overwrites the other one. So yeah, we're not getting too much by doing two different things, but I did not blur it though. So this, okay, actually neither one, it's not flipped. Both of them have white on the right side. Okay, but oh, they flipped this part. Maybe that's what I did wrong. Yeah, that was what I did wrong. Okay. Yeah, so the black needs to stay. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, well, it's still not very different, really. guess I could blur them a different amount and see. I don't know. I'm just trying to see if this step actually adds anything. Oh, it wasn't connected the whole time? I thought I double checked that. Okay, well now you can kind of see, I don't know. I can't really tell if they're any different or not, but let's see, maybe, okay, no, that doesn't do anything, does it? Anyway, let's blur this one. This will just be shadows. Okay, let's make it just darker green. And then okay, this does seem like it's more on the outside maybe. So maybe I should flip the mask because I thought this was going to be more highlights, but well, we don't want to highlight the veins anyway because they're really, yeah, the veins are standing out here actually. So do a more warm shadow. I don't know. It's fine. Let's try oh right, so our alpha is, we had the alpha mask, but it doesn't include this leaf or the stem. And I could combine them again, but I'm going to have to remember to keep them in sync. So I wonder if I could just derive the alpha from this height. That would probably be easier. Let me see. Probably can. So what I need to do is do a histogram scan to take out all the details and then blur it, probably. Oh, yeah, but I have to do it after the warp. We want to get a lot of the stems. Probably too much, though. And just blur it a little bit to soften it. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Sometimes you can do a histogram scan again and then blur one more time. Oh, that's fine, actually. I was going to see if there was any bleed on the edges, but I think I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more interest on that. Okay, so let's see. This curvature smooth. How do I use it in my grass? Okay, so I take the levels of it. So this really emphasizes kind of like the outer edges. where does that go? This goes here. What? Really? It does shadows? It's not what I would have expected. I guess it's not really shadows, it's like warm tones, and then okay, so what's doing this highlight part? That's the okay, so it's these that's doing the highlight. Okay. Maybe I got it backwards then. Oh, you can kind of see it. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like an inner outline around it. It's very subtle though. Anyway, okay, so let's just try blending with this. I'll do a levels first so I can edit it as I need. And then another color. Okay, so this is kind of getting, well, it's getting a lot of the branch and then kind of the outside of the leaves. That actually looks pretty good. Those bits, kind of a more reddish tone. Okay, and now let's add some shadows. I mean, I guess I don't have to use all these colors. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what they do. All these masks, I mean. Alright, so in this, we'll use the ambient occlusion. Let's blur it a little bit so it's not quite so crisp. And then, yeah, it needs to have levels. And then I guess we'll invert it. Okay, so now we got the shadows of our leaves. I think this will be useful. And I'll give it a dark blue color, not quite so saturated. It could look better more if it's more purplish. To have some more reddish tones. Alright. And then I think we can just multiply the straight height map as the last bit to get the highlights. Maybe, I guess we'll feed it into one more levels. Alright, also, yeah, I could use other things besides screen and see how that looks too. Or copy. Alright, so this part, here. I'm mostly gonna highlight the leaves. It's probably too yellow, but I guess I can bring down the opacity. I feel like it kind of just like washed out all the colors I just did. Oh, that's why. That keeps happening. Yeah, I didn't feed in the, oh gosh. Okay, I've been messing up here. I haven't been feeding in the correct value. Okay. That looks much better then. I think it was best. Screen. Okay, that's not too bad. I wonder, it almost looks a little bit too blurred. How can I fix that? I guess I could, I could add something like this on the very end to really get the veins and add some detail. Don't even use this one. I don't know. It doesn't look that much different. Let's try it. I mean, I guess it doesn't want to have too much detail, but I don't know. It looks a little washed out right now. I think this one looks a little better. And then I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's kind of an electric green color. That does look pretty nice actually. Yeah, not quite so. I think I like that. Maybe make it brown. I guess I should probably blur it just a little bit. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Oops. What did I add? Oh yeah, I need that high quality blur. Oh no, that's not a good idea to place it right there. Okay, so I've got to be careful because I'm gonna just get rid of the details like I just added. So there, I think that's pretty good. I'm surprised. It seems like it loses. It just seems very blurry. I think maybe it's the alpha map. Yeah, so I should probably do another histogram scan here. Okay, I think that's a little better. Alright, so I guess one thing, I guess it depends on how I want the style to look, but there is like a very distinct outline around each leaf. Where does that come from? It's mostly, looks like, when we do the ambient occlusion. Actually, not really, it's this one. No. Yeah, I don't really, these passes don't add much, do they? I don't know, it looks fine. I was just curious, I don't know if I wanted like quite so strong of an outline around the edge of the leaves. But I think, yeah, it must come from... Okay, yeah, it's a combination of the ambient occlusion and then this final detail node. So I guess if I wanted to get rid of it, I would just bring both of those opacities down. Yeah, I think that looks a little better actually. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I guess one other thing, it'd be nice if there was a little bit more highlights. I'm trying to think. I think that's what this node was supposed to do, but it doesn't really make it through. What if I rearranged? No. What did that do? Oh. Yeah. Oop, I messed up again. Goes in there. Yeah, it pretty much just overwrites the stems. Okay, so let's add, let's reset. I really don't even know if I need that step. It doesn't really seem to do much. Oh, well, I do want the one with the dark. Did I pull out the wrong thing? I wanted to try this one. I don't know. Let's see. So is there one? Oh, yeah. So these aren't really suitable for the highlights because they get the stem and the highlights on the leaf should be, I don't know, around the edges. So I guess maybe something like this. Maybe I can histogram scan it. I guess that's what this bit's supposed to do, but I'm using it kind of to add redness. And also it has the stem, which I don't really know if I want it to be highlight. Maybe I can just invert. Yeah, invert this. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm gonna need to process it quite a bit actually. See if I can. Actually, that goes kind of a long way. Except it looks, I don't know, it looks kind of artificial. And then maybe blur. Oh, yeah, I've already used the high quality. Maybe I should have done this opposite. I don't know. Let's try it, I guess. Okay. Wait. Could I just... Maybe I can do the same thing and have it look nicer if I just do another levels on the height map. But this time, you gotta be really picky. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. So let's do, or add that in here. Okay, so that looks kind of funny, but I need to change this color. Okay, something like that, except it should not be anywhere near that strong, so. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Let's see. The only issue is I kind of don't want it. I think I'll blend it with the ambient occlusion because I don't really want it to highlight areas that should be occluded. I think that looks a little better. Just a subtle change, I think, but okay. All right, so I think I'm done. Let's get rid of all that. Now, can I clean this up a little bit so that I can actually tell what's gone on when I come back to this? Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to be kind of difficult no matter what I do. Yeah, almost there. I think, yeah, I think we pretty much will be done. Well, I've got to do the data texture, but I don't think that should be too difficult. Well, I guess let's not clean it up yet because I've got to, I might make changes. Okay, so we've got the albedo alpha texture. Now I've got to add the normal map, which I think is basically just going to be this. All right. And I was thinking about adding, like, giving a random vector to each leaf. I mean, maybe I'll do it, but for now, let's just do the simple one. Wow, it's already 10:20. Just in case I want to change the normal strength. Okay, so normal. Did I even do an output? Oh no, I just did an alpha merge. So I need to do an output node. And this will be albedo transparency. something like that. All right, and now the data texture is something that I've made specifically for the translucency shader, and basically each component in it encodes some kind of like information about the leaf. The red node is the red channel is just a smoothness, and I think I'll just use this noise as part of it. Let's bring this down and do levels. I don't want to have too much. It should all be pretty dark colored, I think. Not doing a very good job. Well, oh wait, it should actually be pretty mostly light because yeah, we don't want to modify the value passed into the shader too much. So I think that'll be fine. We'll pass that in there. Okay, and then green is, oh yeah, specular strength, which is basically where you want specular highlights to show up on the leaf. And actually I can pretty much, I could use, can I, do I want this? Or do I want, like, do I want highlights to show up on the stem? I think I think I'll just use the height map and do another levels pass. Like we did to get the highlights in the albedo map. Okay, so there's a little area where a specular bit can show up on the stem. I think that's fine. Okay, then blue is the translucency strength, which is basically where light can show through when you look through the leaf at a light source. And that's basically just the height map with another levels pass. And we want to take out the stem. A histogram scan might be better, actually. And then I should probably just subtract the stem height map from it. Although it's been deformed. We'll have to be a little careful about that. Well, I could just use this part without, let's lose the leaf stems. Okay, well, let's see how it works. Basically, we want to have really high contrast, but get rid of the stem parts. Maybe a histogram scan is actually the right way to do it. Okay, that's pretty good. There's a little bit in the center. Well, we could maybe do it. That's even better, I think. Yeah, we could probably get this a little better. Yeah, I might want to output like the vein map out of here. Although then we'd have to run it through the FXMap and everything, so I don't know. I think this might be fine. Yeah, if it's very noticeable, we can always try to fix it. Okay, but I do want to mask out the stem for sure. Let's see. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. Because we deformed it, we're going to get these weird little artifacts. Okay. Almost. The blurring is... It's not getting out the edges of it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we've masked out the stem and most of the stems of the leaves. Okay, so this is the translucency mask. And then alpha is just ambient occlusion, so that one's pretty easy. Alright, and then this goes out into data texture. Okay, and I think that's it. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty proud of this actually. I think it's turned out pretty well. Okay, I guess we'll leave that there. Okay, let's export. Okay, it's already in the right folder. The color is sRGB. I mean, I guess it could be raw. I don't know. Let's try leaving it raw. Maybe, I'm not sure how Unity will handle it. And I'll just put a 0 at the end because we'll probably make another version of this because the mesh I use allows 2 different sprites. All right. And then okay, we can see how it looks so far. Oh, that's funny. It's using some of the old leaves and some of the new ones, but I think I'll just have both groups of leaves use the same material for now. Okay, so it still looks kind of strange, but I think our texture actually looks pretty nice. It doesn't really blend with the bark because the bark is realistic, but we'll make a bark texture as well. Okay, so yeah, right now yeah, we're just using the URP's lit shader, so it doesn't really handle leaves very well at all. Okay, ignore that for now. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring over my transparency shader. Okay, so show and explore. And then I've got to grab my... Sorry, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I'm going to grab the shaders from my other project. Okay, so what I need here, okay, I guess we'll use the fragment lit shader, although, yeah, we're gonna remove a lot from it. And then here, I'll just copy this whole folder. Although I guess I should get rid of the meta files in case that causes an issue. And yeah, I won't need this stuff about the grass for this project. Let's go ahead and rename it. So this will be... Actually, I won't need this common file in the final version. Oh yeah, because we're just gonna have one shader. Yeah, I'll need this lighting, and then I don't need anything about the grass soil. This is some helper math. So I guess I'll rename this to NMG math for now. Okay, and I'll leave this because I'm gonna need to grab stuff from it. Okay, what else? Guess I need the actual shader file. Okay. Open Visual Studio. Okay. Let's see. This will be, I don't know, foliage. Okay, so we're still gonna have a main texture and then the alpha cut threshold. We'll have the normal map and then a normal strength. We'll have the data texture. We'll have smoothness, specular strength. Do I need this? So in the grass shader, what this does is let you choose between using like the normal of the mesh and then the normal of the terrain for specular highlights. Sometimes it can make a difference. Okay, and then this environmental reflect. Oh, this is spelled wrong. Relect. This should be reflect strength. Okay, and then translucency strength. Yeah, that's all fine. We don't need the blade curvature. Do I want to deal with wind because that's not really the point of this tutorial, but I guess I'll leave it in because it'll probably look nice. Okay. What else? Yeah, we still want no culling. We're gonna use alpha to mask. This is for lighting. So we're not gonna do tessellation, so we can get that rid of that. Yeah, don't need this anymore. This is like so I can do a simpler version of the shader in edit mode, but I don't have the script to set that up, so I'll get rid of it for now. So let's just call this I guess foliage. Oh yeah, I need to rename this file as well. Okay. Foliage passes included. All right, so yeah, we have to get the URP lighting. Okay, so that's common. Oh, we don't want to rely on this for now. And then I guess I should just rename this to translucent lighting, huh? Oh yeah, and there's a bug in Visual Studio and Unity integration where if you don't have a C# script, it won't create the project in Visual Studio. So I'll just create a dummy C# script. So now it will show up here. Oh yeah, I have to tell it to reload. So now, yeah, our assembly files are there now. And then what I wanted to rename this grass lighting to transparent lighting. Or should I just call it foliage lighting because I don't know. I guess it is specifically made for foliage. Although I think it would work fine for things like paper as well. Okay, so we don't have tessel. Excuse me. I'm not going to do tessellation anymore, but now I do need the attribute structure. Okay, so we need the position, object space. Okay, I won't worry about formatting it. Hi, Antaeus. How are you doing tonight? Okay, now we need the normal and the tangent vector. No vertex colors. Okay, we do need the UV. Okay, this stuff doesn't happen here. I guess we need the light map UV. Taking a dev break? Oh, it's always a good idea. What are you working on? This, well, maybe we'll use this later. I forget the macro. Let me look at my other project. Yeah, I have to get the light map UV, which is text chord 1, but you have to use a specific macro so it works well with light probes as well. I think. I know it would be instance lit. Oh. Oh, I see, yeah. Then declare light map or spherical harmonics. We're making an online gladiator combat multiplayer and a coliseum. Oh, that sounds cool. You can share a link if you'd like. Sure, go ahead. I think my auto moderator will delete the link, but I'll be able to see it. Okay, that works. That's cool. I'll have to check it out after the stream. Okay, so that's fine. And then for the fragment input, we want UV, position, normal, tangent. Okay, we don't need hint. Okay, so this terrain normal. I'm not sure how to handle that. So we have. Okay, let's wait. I'll just get rid of this for now. Okay, so baked. Oh, why'd it go? Oh, because I renamed it. So then we have declare light map or spherical harmonics. So this is where we can get the light map UV or spherical harmonics value. And then we can use that for some lighting. And then I also want to get the vertex colors or vertex lighting. I didn't see shadow mask. Oh, that's because the shadow mask, yeah, it's not in there. Okay, so this will be 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, so what did I get rid of here? I guess we just don't need the curvature. Everything else stays. Okay, so on the vertex, yeah, I actually have to change quite a bit, huh? All right, so yeah, instead of getting the vertex ID, we actually get the attribute struct, which just gives us information from the mesh, and then we'll output the fragment input. Okay, so this is all gone. Okay, yeah, there's one question I'm not sure how we'll handle, but maybe we can just do that in Blender. Well, no, that won't really work. Okay, well, let's not worry about that, because for trees, you want to have like a normal vector that's kind of pointing outward from the center of the foliage. so that it tends to have more realistic shading. But I also need the normal from the actual mesh because we'll use that because that gives us the normal of the blade, or I guess leaf in this case, which we can use for specular highlights. So I'm not sure how I can get both. Well, obviously we'll have to derive one. It's probably best. Okay, yeah, we can derive the blade normal using or sorry, the mesh normal using partial derivatives. So I think that's probably what I'll do. Anyway, okay, so I need the vertex position inputs. And this is just a helper function in URP that will convert the object space position to world space. Input dot position object space, and there's a similar one for the normal vector. And also tangent. Yeah, kind of annoyingly, it doesn't automatically handle the flip bit in the tangent. Or I guess it's not a bit, but okay. Yeah, so now I need the UV. I guess we can go ahead and take care of the tiling here. So UV equals transform hex. I always forget if the variable goes first or the texture, but I guess we'll find out. Main texture. Okay, and then the position is pretty simple. Position world space equals position inputs dot position world space. And yeah, same thing with the normal. Oh, except you need to use the right thing. And okay, so the tangent's a little different because for the bitangent, when we calculate that down here, we have to know whether our mesh uses a left or right-handed system. And that's stored in the W component. So we need to, the W component of the object space tangent. So we just gotta grab it here. Input dot tangent OSW. Okay. I guess none of this is really helping. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now to handle the light map and stuff, let's look again on my other shaders. Okay, so this a little confusing because I think I don't do vertex colors in this shader, I do it in the other one. Oh, well, here's fog factor and vertex light, actually. Okay, and here output light map. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. And then I guess I could save that as well. Okay, so fog factor vertex light, and now I need to deal with the light map UV and or spherical harmonics, which are spherical harmonics is how light probes are implemented. Alright, is that everything? Oh, I need a shadow map. I don't see that here. Where do I get the shadow map? Or shadow mask? Okay, actually, yeah, I don't pass that through here. Yeah, you calculate that in the fragment function. Yeah, so I don't need that there. Okay. Alright, so okay, all this is dealing with wind and stuff. I think I will add in wind later, but we don't have to do it now. Let's try to get the lighting set up. Okay, so this is a lot, basically the same, I think. Let's clean that up. Okay, so we sample the main texture. Oh yeah, there's no hint color. Oh yeah, so this alpha threshold is in the helper function. I think I'll just pull it out. Or the helper file, I mean. And what this does, it's just for, basically lets you do alpha cutouts with the alpha to coverage mode, which I'll talk about in the tutorial video for sure. So then, I don't really know if this is faster. It was a little faster in my tests, so that's why I've left it in, that you can early exit. That way you don't have to sample the textures quite as much. So here we're getting the normal map, and then one important thing for foliage is since it's double-sided, we need to flip it if we're on the opposite face. And then we can use Unity's create tangent to world to make the tangent space vector. Also, I need to pass the handedness bit. Or it's not a bit, I keep on saying that. Handedness component. And so then we're unpacking the normal vector from the normal texture or normal map. Oh, also, yeah, these aren't texture arrays, so I should get rid of that part. Yeah, this is a texture 2D, not array, or not an array. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. Okay, and then we normalize after transforming to world space. Okay, and then here's the data sample. Again, I can simplify that a little bit because it's not a texture array. Okay, so here we set all the data into the lighting system. So we got the position, get this card normal. I might rename this to mesh normal, and then the terrain normal doesn't really make sense either. For all foliage, does it? Let's see. I guess I could just call it diffuse and specular normal. And it's basically how it is. what it is. Yeah, this doesn't even... I was gonna say the environment reflections don't even use the normal vector, do they? Oh, they used to because they had this for null term. Is this for one tree, or what are you planning to do in the scene? Is this going to be one tree because it's basically just to show off this shader for the tutorial. I just wanted to see mostly if it worked on a tree, because I know it works on grass because it's the same thing that I was using before. But I would like, I've been thinking, well, when I get this video live, I want to work on like kind of smaller projects on stream that are kind of like unrelated to videos. And I think I'll do something like little dioramas, and I need to go back and finish that cherry blossom effect that I made like weeks ago, or was making weeks ago, so we'll probably make a tree there. Maybe that time I'll just try my hand at modeling one too. Okay, so anyway, let's call this a specular normal. I think it will be fine. Current document. And then we'll have the diffuse normal. That's basically what they do. That's a charm for you, the more complex projects, but it's understandable. Okay, well, I mean, by simple, I don't mean like simple to program, just maybe a smaller scene. Like, I don't know, like think like a snow globe or something, and then I'll try to make cool effects inside that small area. I don't know, it's probably not explaining it well. Okay, so anyway, I think, and then diffuse normal and specular normal. They'll still be there? Alright. Well, we'll try it out. I mean, if it's not as exciting, I'm always open to suggestions. Okay. Let's see if this works. Gonna open Foliage HLSL. Did I not spell it right? Yeah, maybe it just needs to re-import. Oh yeah. Oh, and I forgot to get rid of this. Excuse me. I think my voice is, or I'm starting to feel it streaming. You remember when you first saw the outline videos that were mind blown, but those things probably take a lot of time. They do, but I really enjoy doing them, so. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I need to, there's still some more outline stuff I'd like to try out, so I think I'll be returning to outlines in the next couple months for sure. Excuse me. Alright, so what's the problem now? Unrecognized tessellation control point. I thought I already fixed that. Get vertex position input. I think it just has an S. I hope. Oh, there should be get vertex normal inputs. Cannot implicitly convert from float 3 to float 4 at line 72. Oh, does it? I guess it wants all 4 bits of the tangent space. Or the tangent vector. Or 4 channels, I keep saying that wrong. Undeclared main texture scale. Oh right, I need to get the scale and offset of the main texture. So float. Main texture ST. And I guess I need to, remove that. Okay, position inputs. Oh, yeah. No tint. Train normal. Oh, right. I need to get the normal vector. Okay, let's not worry about this for now because I don't have much time left. But yeah, I need to derive this, the mesh normal from partial derivatives. Get view direction from position. Oh, okay, that's in my... Oh, that's in the NMG math file, which I think I'll still use in the video. Just to have little helper functions like that I don't really need to explain. Shadow mask. Oh, right. I need to get the shadow mask from... Oh, I don't even sample the GI or anything. Let's fix that. Okay, so light map UV, vertex, spherical harmonics, and then the terrain normal, which is just that normal. Actually, this should just be the... okay, this is gonna confuse me. So we want... Oops, sorry. And actually, yeah, this whole bit is incorrect, but we'll leave it for now. This will be the diffuse normal world space is just what we get in the input. And then this is actually the specular normal world space. But this entire thing needs to be changed, actually. So I'll just comment it out for now. Yeah, we'll just do this. Okay. Alright, so it says it works. Let's try changing over the material. And hopefully it will work because, yeah, actually I'm just at time now, but... foliage... Alright, oh, it's still texture 2D array. So I need to just change that to 2D. Alright, transparency, data, normal is not really useful right now, but yeah, so I need to change this to a normal map, and this turn off sRGB and turn off sRGB on the color too, and they should all be clamp and trilinear. Oh yeah, and then this one needs to preserve the alpha coverage. Alright. Anyway. Okay, usually this looks good at 0.5. Okay. Okay, so the texture needs a little work. Is it the alpha? I don't know. It looks a little noisy. I don't know. We can try to figure what's going on. Okay, and that looks pretty good actually. Something is wrong. I think that the normals for the mesh aren't set up correctly, or how I would do it. So like the subsurface looks great because this, it's looking through the sun, and even you can see the blowout. I don't know if that really looks the best for a tree, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, thanks NTT. You can see I can turn off translucency, and that just only does the diffuse lighting, but yeah, the normals aren't correct because ideally they'd be all pointing out from the center of the tree. So I'm gonna have to go and fix that in Blender, but the translucent shader is pretty good. It doesn't seem like there's shadows from the... I was hoping that there'd be more shadows from the what's it called? The boughs or the branches, but I guess that doesn't really work. I don't know, we'll have to play around with that. But yeah, I'm glad to see it at least preliminarily works. Okay, and then yeah, we need to add wind. And yeah, do something with a sky, add like a nice skybox and some kind of ground so it's not just floating in the ether, but anyway, yeah, I think I need to... This isn't using your grass system yet? Well, it's not the grass placement, but it's the grass like lighting shader, if that makes sense. Yeah, because the first video I'm gonna make is gonna be about the lighting system, just because it's kind of, I mean, obviously you can see it's independent, so it's just good to get it out of the way, I think. And then we'll work on to doing, or we'll move on to doing the actual grass placement, which is quite a bit more complicated, but it's pretty fun, I think. But anyway, yeah, I need to head off. It's getting pretty late here, but yeah, thank you everybody for coming and watching and chatting. Especially, I appreciate you NTT for sticking around after I had to restart the router. But seems like now it's kind of stabilized, of course, when I have to leave. But but yeah, good night NTT, and good night everybody. I'll put some links in the chat if you've enjoyed the stream. As I said before, I do have a YouTube channel, and this is for a video that I hope to get up pretty quickly. So if you're interested in how well, I'm going to walk you through step by step to make this foliage shader. And I have a bunch of other socials too, if that interests you. But I'll be back Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe working on some more grass stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.